almost believe in God days like this. We almost believe in gefilte fish.
Canada.
Hi.
Hi.
We awfully trying, and we're not denying that of all the lesser passions, we like fighting most. Takes me by the neck. What is this? Wash and wear. Has unlimited knowledge of Drek.
I'm at the Ordway. T-minus like 45 minutes because my mom makes us get places super early. I'm so excited.
I'm Wizard. I'm Jason. I'm Mendel. I'm Marvin. Bitch, 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 bitch. Funny, 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 funny. Bitch, 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 bitch. Right or wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. Half Jewish.
So Lila, I'm telling you about falsettos. Okay, so it's about this guy named Marvin, and he's gay, but he was married to this woman named Trina, and they have a son named Jason together. Marvin sees a psychiatrist named Mendel. He's also dating a guy named Whizzer, except like Mendel's a dick.
Weird names.
They're from the 80s. Oh. Marvin and Whizzer like fight, and Marvin's like, be a twink for me, please. And then Trina's like, I failed as a wife. And she goes to see Mendel, the psychiatrist, because she's like, my son is fucked up. And then he's like, no, you're hot. And then Trina's like, oh my God, he's hot. And then Marvin goes to the psychiatrist and he's like, I love fucking my boyfriend. And my son won't talk to me. And I failed as a husband. And he's got like a lot of internalized homophobia, and it's sad. And then, yes, it's all musical. It's like there's no talking. Mendel is like, he starts therapizing Jason, but he's not good at it. And Jason's like very smart and not dumb. And then Jason's like, do you want to marry my mom? And Mendel's like, yes. And so they get married. And then Marvin comes in like when he gets the wedding invitation. Oh, Marvin and Whizzer break up over a game of chess. Dumb as shit. He comes in and he's like, I can't believe you're getting fucking married. What about us? And Trina's like, you're gay. I'm not going to be married to you. And then he like slaps Trina and it's really sad, and the choreography for that is so fucking good. It's now the 80s. Nancy Reagan is in the White House. Meanest and thinnest of the first ladies. Marvin's like, I miss my boyfriend. And Jason's like, I'm playing baseball. Girls are hot. And he invites Whizzer to the baseball game, and Marvin's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then he's like, you want to get back together? And then they do. And then the lesbians from next door show up. And Cordelia is like, I know how to make things for a bar mitzvah. Except she doesn't, because she's a bad cook. But I feel bad for her because I love her. And her wife, Dr. Charlotte, is a doctor. And she's like, being a doctor is really stressful. And then Whizzer, like, they're like playing a game, and Trina's very upset that they're back together. And then Whizzer gets AIDS, and it's really sad, and he dies, and it's just...
How did he get AIDS?
When they were broken up,
Oh.
perhaps. Or Marvin has it too, and he's just not getting sick yet, which is what I think happens, because the ending is very ambiguous. And it's so good. I'm seeing it tomorrow!
Since the session's nearly through, tell me what is going on with you?
Hello vlog. It's intermission. The guy that plays Wizard. The games I play was very, very good. Father to Son, very, very good. The set is very pretty right now. Haven't cried yet, but Act 2 hasn't started. The show just got out. As soon as Wizard came out in his hospital gown, I started crying. And then when they entered the same like light pool in What Would I Do, it was just like not okay, and I cried a lot. So this happened. It was so good. It was just like so good. The house lights went down right before Act 1 started, and like I just like viscerally shook because like, and then 4 Jews in a room bitching slapped. The kid that played Jason, this little guy, was really good. He's got like a very mature voice, very different than Anthony Rosenthal's interpretation of Jason, and like all the performances were really unique. Like the guy that played Mendel, so good. He had like this ex-rock star vibe going on, and Eden Espinosa, her like Trina, it was so different from Stephanie J. Vlox. It was like, she was a little edgier, and she was a little like madder at Marvin. She was less passive. Yeah, and then Nick Adams as Whizzer Brown. I'm literally gonna start crying. When Marvin like rips off his shirt, and during Thrill First Love, I was shook because he's buff and it's crazy. Marvin was really good. He was like a lot more grounded and like less, like so like in the cast recording, it's not called Marvin Goes Crazy, but Marvin Goes Crazy, and it's like a stark contrast from between like when he's a normal guy to like when he goes crazy to like Act 2 when he's like chill and happy and in love. And there was a point where Trina was saying, please come to our house, and Marvin and Whizzer are in the background, and they're sitting on like the cube stuff, and they've got like a TV set up, and it was just so cute. Unfortunately they didn't do like the baby I'm so sorry after Marvin hits Trina, which I was like preparing myself for, and then it didn't happen, and I was like, okay. The girl that played Dr. Charlotte was really cute. Like, oh my god, she wasn't very dykish, gotta say, but she was so cute, and she had such a pretty voice. And the girl that played Cordelia, I follow her on Instagram, and she's just so sweet and kind, and my lesbians. She said kosher caterer instead during Falsetto Land. So they didn't do Chess Ain't How Your Boyfriend Thinks, and I was upsetty. Spaghetti. Oh, and then Act 2. I think Act 2 was my favorite because it's so funny, and the guy that played Mendel is so funny, and just like opening it with Dr. Mendel at work, and like he comes out with the flashlights and he's like, homosexuals, and he did that for like 10 minutes. It felt like forever. He was just pointing with his lights like, everyone's a homosexual, and then he was homosexuals. Teeny tiny band, and they like showed the band, and the band was on like weird high-risers. As soon as Whizzer stepped out in his hospital gown, I knew I was emo again, and I just like didn't stop crying from that point forward. Like I started crying as soon as I saw him after Racquetball Reprise, and I didn't stop until the end of What Would I Do, and then when they entered the same like pool of light during What Would I Do. Like, moral of the story, I've never been more emo, and I've never been more tired. I loved it. It's my favorite show. This is like dumb and emo, but I think one of my new favorite lines is the like, this is where we take a stand, welcome to Falsetto Land. It rhymes. At the very end of Act 2. And it just like freaks me up that Mendel says it, and like, because it's meant to be like a call to action. Like, when it was written, like, you're gotta go out and like actually do shit about it, you know, like, and it just, like, my mom didn't know it was about AIDS, and I was like, it's gay and in the 80s, and like, it's just, it's such an important show, and it's just so important to my life, and like, it's so good, and it's so meaningful, and it's so impactful, and it does so much with so little. Like, 7 actors, whack as heck. March of the Falsettos is such a good song. Like, the set being just a cube, and like the only real thing is Wizard's hospital bed, it just like really hurts me, because like, just think about that symbolism, the juxtaposition, and like, oh my god. And when they had all these like big curtains that were white to like symbolize the hospital room, and as soon as Wizard dies they like fall, and Marvin's left like standing off on the side of the stage, and I was just like, I can't do this. And then he sings What Would I Do, and I'm literally like gonna cry. I love Falsettos. It's a really important show. I say check it out, like the soundtrack, because today's its closing in Minneapolis, but like, watch the pro shot video, it's really good. Hit me up because I have it, and it's such a beautiful show, and thank you to all the actors and everybody that worked on it, and William Finn and James Lapine for writing it. And just like,
this is where we take a stand. Welcome to Falsetto Land.